Y'all can get louder than that. Make some noise.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you to all of the media for being here today to discuss this essential issue, to have a nuanced conversation, and to tell the truth about what's going on. So I'm going to focus on two areas. First of all, I'm Congressman Jamal Bowman. I represent New York's 16th District, which covers the Northeast Bronx and part of southern Westchester County. So we're here for two aspects of this conversation. I want to start with the aspect of free speech, okay? Our First Amendment gives us the right to speak freely and to communicate freely. And TikTok as a platform has created a community and a space for free speech for 150 million Americans and counting. That includes many of the content, that's right. That includes many of the content creators that I just met with in my office. They talk to me about a sense of family. They talk to me about a sense of community. They talk to me about a place that is helpful to their mental health and to their sense of belonging and well-being. They talk to me about finding a place where they could communicate with others like them and learn to love themselves even further. And I so appreciate them being that honest and vulnerable with me in terms of how they engage with TikTok. TikTok is also not just a space for building community, but it's used as an educational tool where you have professors and teachers providing content for students to engage with and learn from. That is what TikTok is for so many Americans. It's also a place where 5 million small businesses are selling their products and services and making a living. Making a living at a time where our economy is struggling in so many ways. So we're talking about free speech for everyday Americans. We're talking about small business owners who use TikTok to grow their business. And my question is, and we're going to pivot to the other part of the conversation, why the hysteria and the panic and the targeting of TikTok? As we know, Republicans in particular have been sounding the alarm, creating a red scare around China. They've been doing it in a variety of ways when it comes to economic competition, when it comes to semiconductor manufacturing, and when it comes to technology. In terms of TikTok's behavior and its risk to national security, it poses about the same threat that companies like Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and Twitter pose. So let's not marginalize and target TikTok. Let's have a comprehensive conversation about legislation that we need, federal legislation, to make sure people who use social media platforms are safe and their information is secure and their information is not being shared or sold to third parties. Because guess what? You can ban TikTok, but there are still data brokers who sell our data to other countries and businesses in other countries. They sell to the highest bidder. So let's not have a dishonest conversation. Let's not be racist towards China and express our xenophobia when it comes to TikTok, because American companies have done tremendous harm to American people. Facebook looked the other way and allowed Russia to interfere with our 2016 election. This is a fact. This is well documented. I didn't hear any member of Congress talk about banning Facebook for doing this. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and other platforms have allowed lies and misinformation to live on their platforms, even though that information may have been harmful to others. From the January 6th attack to the genocide in Myanmar, American social media companies have been used to facilitate harm in tremendous ways. So let's talk about federal legislation to ensure the safety and security of everyone who uses social media. And part of that is related to banning data brokers and stopping them for selling our data to the highest bidder. Let's have that conversation. Let's have the conversation, by the way, let's have the conversation around how many people who sign on to social media aren't even aware of what happens to their data as they sign up. Let's have the conversation about that. Allow people the option to opt out of having their data be shared with third parties and corporations and governments that use their data for God knows what. I mean, we've allowed facial recognition software to be sold to hostile governments around the world. Let's have an honest global conversation. This is not just about TikTok. This is about social media. Let's talk about social media monopolies and breaking up big tech. There was bipartisan legislation introduced last Congress that did not move at all. Obviously, we want to talk about some of the addictive nature of these algorithms. Let's have a broader, more honest conversation about social media, and let's not scapegoat TikTok because they happen to be owned by a Chinese organization in this time of heightened xenophobia since COVID. Let's have honest conversations. So it is my duty to bring up and my privilege to bring up Mr. Jason Linton, who is a content creator who's going to say a few words.
Hello everyone, my name is Jason Linton, and I want to share with you my story of why I'm here today. I'm a husband and a father to 3 beautiful adopted kids living in Oklahoma, Lillian, Christian, and Harper. Daddy loves you. Every day, I use TikTok to share the love of my family and our journey through foster care and adoption. And through that, I've been able to create such a wonderful community of people from all over the world. People that leave comments like, I miss my dad. I wish I had a father. Those things that have brought us more together than have separated us from across different countries all over the world. TikTok's community has become an important part of my life and has helped me connect with people from all walks of life, learning from them and growing together, both online and also offline. We have been able to build support networks and genuine friendships. A ban on TikTok would be devastating to not only my community of parents and people that follow me, but also the millions of other communities that I know TikTok has helped develop, and the people who have found a safe place to express themselves through this platform. A TikTok ban removes that community. It takes away everything that we have all built together. The support networks, the allies, the friends, the safe space we have to express ourselves, the people we turn to when we need advice, all of that gone overnight. So I'm asking our politicians, don't take away the community that we have all built. A community that laughs, that loves, and supports each other in a way that nothing else can. We can solve the issues without taking away something so precious to us all. Next, I welcome Tiffany to share her story.
Hi everyone, my name is Tiffany Yu, and I want to share with you why TikTok is so important to me as a disability advocate. So a little over 25 years ago, at the age of 9, I became disabled as a result of a car accident that also took the life of my dad. I permanently paralyzed my arm and sustained a few broken bones in one of my legs. And today I'm the CEO and founder of a disability advocacy organization called Diversability that I started in 2009. Like all good stories, mine starts by getting fired from a job. I had to get creative about making ends meet, and so I was Airbnb-ing out my apartment and selling other jewelry and other things on Craigslist. But it wasn't until I downloaded TikTok in March of 2020 that my advocacy really took off, 11 years after I'd started doing disability advocacy work. TikTok has really been a game changer for me. It's allowed me to reach new audiences, millions of people, unlock new ways to generate income to support my advocacy, and empower an entire group of disability advocates to find their voice and build their careers. With my advocacy hat on, I want to share a couple stats with you. Disabled people are twice as likely to live in poverty, and the unemployment rate for disabled Americans is twice that of those without disabilities. So since joining the Learn on TikTok program in July of 2020, I've not only secured over 6 figures of creator income, I have a book coming out in 2024, and all of which are supporting my dream of advocating on behalf of my own community, the disabled community. A passion that I know many people in Congress share. TikTok's been instrumental in accelerating my advocacy, and I know that I'm not alone. It's become a vital platform for advocates across society and across the political spectrum to connect, share their stories, and help change people's lives. So to Congress, I urge you to consider the impact that a ban on TikTok would have on advocates like myself. TikTok has provided us with a powerful tool to raise awareness, promote inclusion, and change the world. And in addition to that, find community where we've previously been so socially isolated and excluded before. We find each other on social media and on TikTok. A ban takes away the connections we've built, silencing communities that continue to be underrepresented and not given a voice. Now I'd like to welcome Bay to share what TikTok means to her.
Hello everyone, my name is Baydree Nicole of Back in the Kitchen with Bay, and I want to talk to you about why TikTok has been so important to me as a Black queer woman in business and in this country. I run a bakery called Coco's Confectionery Kitchen, located in Columbus, Ohio, and TikTok has been essential in helping me build my business over the past few years. A ban would create obstacles for me, both financially and professionally, as TikTok is at the forefront of our brand strategy. I personally know that I am not alone in this fear, as I am a content developer working with businesses around the globe to help them to understand social media and the platforms where their businesses can thrive. TikTok has allowed me to encourage my clients and millions of business owners alike to enter the digital space and explore the new possibilities they have to connect with their customer base. Aside from the business, for me, this is a very personal mission. It's not about sales and exposure, it's about the impact I and people that look like me can have on our community simply by accessing and contributing to the TikTok space. As everyone in this room and all those watching know, this country has not always been the most fair or equal for Black and brown individuals. For a group of people whose ancestors have built or helped build this country and even the ground we're standing on, it can be discouraging that after centuries we're still operating a step behind. In the social media space, these issues are no different. We often hear stories of suppression and attempts at erasure for people of color on their platforms. It is not an issue that we've endured easily, but we persevered through no matter how many difficulties it created. Thankfully, TikTok has cultivated a safe space that has allowed Black and brown people in the community to share knowledge and tips on entrepreneurship and share ways that we can use our influence to cultivate change in ways we never have before. TikTok is a critical tool for me to promote entrepreneurship and inspire the next generation of Black and brown business leaders. I get the honor of sharing my experiences and get to offer advice to others who are just starting out, helping them to understand how to harness their power that they possess. I can tell you without question that the next generation of Black business owners are going to come from the TikTok platform. If you ban TikTok, then you put at risk putting a cap on the ambitions of a whole generation of wealth creators who will have vital networks taken from them overnight. I want to leave you with this. Yesterday, while visiting your beautiful city, I had the opportunity to visit the Jefferson Memorial. I was of course overwhelmed with its beauty and great history, but what stood out to me most was a powerful quote etched onto the wall, something I learned and was not aware of. The quote indicated that Jefferson was not a proponent of change in our country's laws. However, he understood the need for change to take place when necessary. He understood that with the evolution of the world over time, as things advance, change would be necessary. But he urged our country's lawmakers the importance to fully understand the changes being considered and the people that would be affected as a result. I urge you all to take his advice and do the same. Join us on the app. Learn and gain a better understanding of it simply by experiencing it. Feel the power of our community before changing the lives of over 150 million people across the world through this ban that you guys are proposing. Allow us, your constituents, to hear your story and use the app as it was intended to connect with us on an even greater level. Please be encouraged to take this step before taking any others. Thank you for this incredible opportunity to share a piece of my story.
I would now like to introduce Representative Mark Pocan from Wisconsin.
Thanks, Jamal. So I'm here because I've seen this problem too often in Congress. This is now my 6th term here, where we have a real problem that exists. What's happening with social media in general, with data, with disinformation, with Russians being able to buy ads on platforms like Facebook. And that's what we should be addressing. But like I see happen all too often, that's not what we're doing. Instead, the debate has gone to whether or not we should ban a single platform, and it's getting lost on that rather than the very real issues that Congress should take on. But if we take that issue on, that means you're taking on also American companies. You're taking on lobbyists that these companies have. You're taking on some of the richest people in the country who make contributions to both Democrats and Republicans. So we're not addressing the actual problem, and instead the debate has gone to let's ban TikTok. Well, there's a couple reasons why. If you've ever watched members of Congress in hearings talk about issues like this, it's cringeworthy. It's TikTok-worthy content to watch people who are above the average age, I think, of most people who use TikTok trying to explain it, because they've never done it. They've never looked at it. Look, I have watched dogs jump over couches and destroy tables. I have watched the Wednesday dance more times than I can count. I have watched people do magic tricks. I've watched people do interviews. I've watched food being made. None of that is a threat to this country. We are stronger than the Wednesday dance. And yet most members would never know that because they've never been there. There is a real problem, and we should be addressing it. And it includes TikTok and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and other platforms about our data and our privacy of our data and selling our data and allowing misinformation. But that is not what's being addressed when people say they want to ban TikTok. And there's a lot of people here who are either individuals who are using this as a way to express their creative backgrounds, their community building that they have within this. And that is not a threat to this country. What is the threat is when you challenge First Amendment rights. What is a threat to this country is when you become xenophobic and you decide one company from one country that you want to put on a list is not going to work. But at the end of the day, we do have a job as members of Congress, and that is to protect our data and to protect disinformation. But we're not doing that by a simple ban on TikTok. So I just hope we are wiser. That people who, the median age in Congress is at 57 and a half, I think, right now, maybe watch TikTok or have at least their staff show it to them. And maybe they'll see that the threat is not in a single platform, but the threat is out there around issues around social media. But that means taking on a lot of lobbyists and rich people here in this country. And it is something that we should do.
Mark is a magician, by the way, so if you want to book him, you can hit up his office. I'm dead serious about that. I would like to bring up Representative Robert Garcia.
Thank you. Thank you. First, I want to thank, Congressman, thank you for your leadership on this issue. The truth is that I consider myself a TikTok super consumer. And so it's great to see so many digital creators that are out here. And like was said earlier from some of the creators and folks who are involved, TikTok is a lot of things to a lot of different people. And first and foremost, it is entertainment. It is fun. I get most of my laughs just from my For You page, which a lot of you are probably on. Pedro Pascal is featured prominently right now on my For You page. But also the thing to think about is what it's done for small businesses, the amount of revenue it's actually bringing back into the system for all of these content creators, for brands, for businesses across the country, and for the profiles that it's raising of folks that would not have the same voice on any other platform. I'll speak also as someone that's queer myself, as one of the few members in the Congress that is gay. The fact that there's so many young queer kids, queer creators that are able to find themselves in this space, share information, feel comfortable, in some cases come out, share their stories, is so important. And honestly, it's done best on the TikTok platform than any other platform, social media platform that currently exists, certainly in the United States. And so for all the queer creators that are here, just thank you for what you do for our community. It's an enormous step forward. And then to also speak, what it's also done to uplift Black and brown creators, folks that are from communities that need us to support, that need our support consistently, is also incredible. And what we heard earlier is true. There are so many Black creators, so many Latino, Latinx creators. They're creating brands and platforms they never would have been able to do on any other platform. And it's uplifting those voices in new ways, which is really, really important. So I'm just here to say just those two things. The first is, do not ban TikTok. We need it. Consider me an ally and a strong supporter. And second, to reinforce, everybody up here, we all understand that privacy rights are important. We all support the idea that individual people should have the ability to keep information private. But there's a better way of working together so that we can both keep TikTok, address the privacy concerns, and allow all these creators to thrive. And so thank you all for being here. Congressman, thank you very much, and happy to be a supporter.
We can keep TikTok, we could protect freedom of speech, and we could deal with the privacy concerns at the same time. We could do both, and right now we're not trying to do both. It's my honor to call up Callie Goodwin.
Hi everyone, my name is Callie Goodwin and I'm from South Carolina and I'm the founder of Sparks of Joy Co. Sparks of Joy Co. is a greeting card company with the goal of spreading joy to the world through handwritten cards. I launched my business on TikTok in the summer of 2020 in the midst of the pandemic and the midst of COVID quarantine. And the goal was to just bring more joy to the world in a time when there was a lot of sadness and heartbreak and isolation. I have sold over 35,000 cards through my website, but 95% of those orders come from TikTok followers. I'm going to say that again. 95% of my orders come because of TikTok. TikTok has allowed me to showcase my products, our process, engage with customers, and build a community. It has allowed me to share my passion for spreading joy and for handwritten cards. A TikTok ban wouldn't just put my business at risk. 95% of my livelihood would disappear overnight. Along with this entire community of creators and customers that I have built over the platform. I've currently got about 90,000 followers that follow me through the highs and the lows, the ups and the downs. They celebrate the wins with me and they mourn the losses with me. And a ban on TikTok would get rid of that, and it would be devastating. But this isn't just about my story. We could spend hours talking about the thousands of small businesses that are impacted by this app. I know that there are so many that have used TikTok to build their brands and to build their communities and to sell products, and there is a massive economic impact because of TikTok. A ban would erase a source of income for millions of small business owners across America. It's not an exaggeration to say that it would harm a growing and blooming access to small businesses. So I urge you, let's find a solution that does not require a ban, because the reality is that a ban would not benefit the American people. There's 150 million Americans on TikTok right now, and we would lose the ability to create community, to support small businesses, and to find educational resources, mental health resources, and so much more. I'm so thankful that this app has given me the chance to grow my business and to seek this entrepreneur journey that would not be possible without it. So, thank you.
You know, Robert, I just realized something. Republicans ain't got no swag. That's why they want to ban TikTok. Republicans ain't got no swag. That's the problem. And I mention that in the context of engaging young people in the democratic process. So I started using TikTok consistently when it took the Republicans 14 votes to get to Speaker McCarthy. And I would just give updates to people on TikTok. And what I realized was, holy snap, people really are paying attention and they are engaged and they're excited and they want to hear more and they want to learn more. And then I started just posting things about my day, posting votes that we've taken, posting conversations I was having with my staff, talking about different issues, and people wanted to learn more. And so by using TikTok in a variety of ways, entertainment, engagement, education, we are pulling people in and making them more a part of the democratic process and making our democracy stronger. One of the reasons I would argue, and I know there's probably some polling somewhere, that we were able to resist this so-called huge red wave is because Democrats do a better job of engaging young people overall. And using TikTok is a part of that. So to the Democratic members of Congress, let's do the right thing here. Again, comprehensive social media reform as it relates to privacy and security, absolutely. But we have to uplift freedom of speech and the creativity that so many content creators are bringing to the American people. Last but not least, I want to bring up Mr. Robert Lucas to say a few words.
Hi everyone, my name is Robert Lucas and I'm a self-taught cake artist from Georgia. Creating art has always been a passion of mine, and through the platform I've been able to channel that creativity and take my baking creations to a much wider audience than I ever thought could be possible. I used to work in IT, and now I make videos that go out to millions to enjoy who watching me bake increasingly challenging creations, often based around big cultural moments and movements. Not only do I inspire, I entertain, I educate, and I also break down stereotypes because it's not often that you see someone that looks like me baking and decorating cakes. TikTok has done much more than just give me exposure. It has actually allowed me to increase my income by 700%, and this extra income has allowed me to support myself, build a studio, and pay staff, and then this platform is taken away that I'm not sure if I'll be able to continue to do that. TikTok has given me and countless others like me the opportunity to showcase our talents and make a living doing what we love. So I urge you to consider the impact that banning TikTok could have on people like me. It will not only take away a source of income, but it will also stifle creativity and prevent talented individuals from sharing their art with the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, we would now like to take a few questions.
Congressman Bowman, the FBI, the CIA, and the Director of National Intelligence, they've all expressed major national security concerns about TikTok. Even the president supports bipartisan legislation that would give him powers to ban TikTok. Is President Biden racist?
So usually when there's an issue of national security concern, they hold a bipartisan congressional briefing on that particular issue. We have not received a bipartisan congressional briefing on the national security risk of TikTok, number one. Number two, again, you know, what happens is a certain party, usually Republicans, whip something like this into hysteria, and we move way too rapidly in the wrong direction to write and pass legislation. Let's take a breath, take a step back, and ask ourselves, is this the best legislation at this moment to really protect individuals' privacy, data, information, and does this make the entire social media landscape safer for everyone? That's the question we need to be asking and answering. Yes.
Some have advocated for selling TikTok to a U.S.-based company to ensure that privacy security around that national security risk regarding China's advocate. Do you see that as a viable option for a path forward? Is moving this to the U.S. and moving those data over to the U.S. where the proper safety and privacy regulations can be, brought by these countries?
Why didn't we push to sell Facebook when we know clearly they allowed Russia to interfere with the 2016 presidential election? Exactly, right? The problem here is the isolation of TikTok because they're a Chinese company. That's the problem, and it feeds into the xenophobic hysteria that we're seeing throughout the country. We have to have a larger, comprehensive conversation about social media, the benefits and the harms, and write legislation to deal with social media overall. Yes.
Thank you. Jackson Richmond with the Epic Times.
Why do you believe it's important to promote a company whose parent company, ByteDance, is partly owned by the Chinese Communist Party?
This is not about TikTok. This is about social media, freedom of expression, safety and security for all people. We just happen to be here talking about TikTok because that's the focus of a so-called ban or the selling of the company. I'm personally not feeding into the xenophobia, the hysteria, and the fears. Take a breath, take a step back, have a larger conversation. I'm very clear on how harmful Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube have been, just to name a few. I mean, President Donald Trump used Twitter to help facilitate an insurrection, an attack on the U.S. Capitol by U.S. citizens. So while we're worried about China harming our country, we are harming ourselves.
Any members of the Intelligence Committee support the kind of things that you've advocated?
We're having those conversations now, and we hope that they do. But we know many, as we can tell by the presence here today, many Americans support the conversation that we're having right now. Well, personally, I don't trust nobody. And I don't trust, again, American social media companies when they say they don't do one thing or another. I'm trying to broaden the conversation. Stop. Can we not be so myopic in our view and what we're talking about as a single entity? There's problems on social media, yes or no? We got to fix them, yes or no?
Yes.
You ban one company, there's still data brokers selling my data to God knows who out there. And I don't even have a say in it. That ain't right. Social media monopolies, that ain't right. Lies and misinformation, that ain't right. Across the board. So let's talk about the entire landscape, not one company. One more question. That was it. It was very comprehensive. Thank you all so much for being here. Journalists, please talk to the content creators. They are awesome. They have a lot to say. Big photo with everybody. Okay, right in the middle.
Guys, right here, please. Guys, get together right here.
Right there. Come
Guys,
on.
Yeah, you can.
We all figure this out. Yes.
Everyone.
Guys,
Right here.
is that okay? Can I help you? Let's pick this whole thing up. Hold on.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Let's do this.
Right here, guys. I got it. Right here, guys. Right here, please. Guys, hold the signs up. Say him right here.
Wait, you? Okay, guys, the comment.
Right here, real quick, then I'll put my hand down.
Trying to move. That's what
All right, please, everybody else.
Way too much. It's like not. Okay, I'm sitting on the floor.
Thank you. Thanks.
Right, you got it.
Yeah, thanks, Nathan.
Okay, you got everything?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I promise. Good.
Sorry. Do you want to go back? We need to stay on. You're not getting everybody in this, but I can find everyone to you if you want.
Okay, thank y'all.
Okay.
Please, journalists, talk to the content creators.
Getting out of the thing?
You're after Jason.
Content creator. Great. I'm Emma. I work for Content. Okay. Let me take a photo of you
Oh, no, that's not. Oh, that's Tiffany. You just come here for me. I'm trying to get a list. They gave me the
Where are you guys from?
From Reuters News.
Reuters. This is Tiffany.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Gavito. Gavito. Tall-wise? Tall, yeah. If you can, like,
Yeah, got it.